What's going on YouTube? This is Mason AJ with the Aficionados, and I'm bringing you episode 7 reaction review to Marvel's Netflix series Jessica Jones. Now we are officially halfway past the mark. It only has 13 episodes so far, so this is actually at this point we're now more than halfway done with the journey, and it's only getting better and better. Now if you saw the last episode, which at this point you should also check out our reaction reviews to those episodes. Luke and Jess had a very much falling out because Jess finally was able to tell, a little bit under duress, mind you, Luke Cage, her involvement in Luke Cage's wife's death. And now you can see how she's drinking, she's pretty much just tragically having a fallout from that. And also, Wendy is back. In case you guys don't remember who Wendy is actually Jerry's wife, Jerry Holcroft, played by the beautiful Karen Ann Ross. And so Wendy's back. So you see how Jessica drunkenly, very unprofessional, unlike she's been for the previous marks of the series, tries to get Wendy to sign the divorce papers. And as much as I was hoping that would work out, it just further show how off Jessica is of her game, especially when she goes to the whole speech about being disgusting, and she can't stand the way Luke looked at her like that, because you could tell she really liked this guy, and for him to feel that way about her just really puts her on a whole new level. It seems this whole episode is just on a series of downer notes because poor Ruben. Don't get me wrong, I never liked Ruben and Robin. They really were kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, but I still feel that Ruben did not deserve what came to him. It was just really just his giant misfortunate luck that had him running into Kilgrave out of all people, and then for him to say, I love Jessica. It was like, if you could ever say the wrong thing to the wrong motherfucker, it was that. So, but as much as sad as I am to see Ruben go the way he did, I'm really liking Malcolm. Malcolm, ever since Jessica fallen into the purpose, rescued him, is really stepping his game up. Like Hope, it's very easy for characters like this to fall by the wayside or never, but to see them gradually gaining strength and really stepping, as Malcolm joins Team Jess and is giving his own little insights and bringing his own little skill sets as much as he can for as little as he possesses, it really makes me happy, because I'm looking like, yes Malcolm, I'm rooting for you son, get off them drugs, we gonna get Kilgrave together. So we got to see how the other members of the team are doing, which was Trish and Will, and you see how the relationship is still mainly about knocking boots, and Trish is getting in, she really is, but also how their levels, different levels, you start to see how as they get to know each other better, there's starting to be small cracks in their romantic armor a little bit. Not enough to break them up, but I'm just saying, you start to see how they have two different philosophies and ways to go about situations, and how it might ultimately lead to future heartbreak, or at least just future arguments. But then also that Trish is looking up leads, she's tracking down leads, trying to find Kilgrave. But also the star of the show, and also the leader of Team Jess, Ruben's death puts Jess in a super negative place, and she has the dumbest plan ever, but considering her mental state, I totally get it. Where she wants to get locked up in Supermax once again, Supermax, not just regular prison, she wants to go to Supermax, okay? She's gonna somehow do what she needs to do to really get locked up, and she actually spends the whole episode tying up loose ends. You get to see how, on top of tying loose ends, we actually get to meet Patsy's mom. You see how, and that was the first time we actually get to see Patsy's mom. We get a hint of the nature of her relationship with Patsy, and apparently her and Jessica have this deal where pretty much Jessica's looking like, yo, even if I'm in jail, I will bust out of jail to you up if you come near Trish. And I'm looking like, damn, it must be serious. I mean, it must be really serious. It gets me really curious as to what really happened back then. Was it really terrible? As your imagination goes into deeper and darker places, you look like, what did her mom do to Trish to warrant this level of response? Team Jess all across the board is rallying, doing whatever they can to really rally behind Jessica and really trying to save her from herself. Because don't get me wrong, as much as she thinks that going to Supermax is a good plan, it's a terrible idea. There's so many ways for this to go wrong, and it's just a terrible idea. And the episode really had the sense of tension to it, of yo, how are they gonna stop her? Please stop her, please stop her. And then literally towards the end of it, when she actually goes in to turn herself in, I'm just gonna bring this up, this might be a little bit nitpicky for me. She goes in wet dripping wet, hair, clothes, everything. But when she's in the interrogation room, she is super dry. Like her hair is done. Like I feel like they were like, whoa, excuse me, Miss Jessica, we can't have you going into the interrogation room all wet and disabled. Like, let's do your hair and do your nails, make you all pretty and proper for the camera. Now, where is she? Like, I'm sorry, maybe like I said, I'm being nitpicky. I was just saying, like, I noticed that, and maybe did y'all notice that as well? So the whole interrogation scene, to me, it just further showed how disabled Jessica was, because the more and more she kept trying to go to Supermax and the more and more she kept trying to sabotage herself, it just seemed like a dumber and dumber idea. And I was actually really glad that I was hoping that the whole case would just get thrown out. Like clearly we're gonna see how it's self-inflicted or whatever and everything else. But when you think it's all over and she's gonna get out, you see that who comes to her rescue? Not Jerry, not Trish, not Malcolm, but Kilgrave himself. And don't get me wrong, David Tennant is looking super sexy and super fine in his purple suit. Like for the first time ever, he was actually fully wearing the purple suit, iconic to his character, you know. And David Tennant, that whole scene, which I'm not gonna spoil for you guys, it's just a super powerful scene to see not only how easily he can just walk in and turn the tide of any situation, but then also to like have that whole dynamic of he made the declaration of love, and she's all like, what the hell is wrong with you a little bit, but then also she herself is scared because at any moment in time she knows that she can snatch him, so she's trying to say as much as she can to like really check the situation. But also the bigger question is, how is this going to affect the world they're living? Because at this point, we all can clearly see that Kilgrave got powers, but he covers his tracks at the end and he was like, this is all a joke, ha ha ha, and he leaves at the end of the day. But the scene itself was totally 100% David Tennant. Without that actor playing that role to really sell this character, that whole scene would have fell flat. All that being said, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this particular episode. Like I said, Jessica Jones continues to up the ante. The questions for this episode, okay, is how is Jessica Jones gonna stop Kilgrave? Because he just further continues to show how pretty much how unstoppable he is and how Jessica is just ultimately not ready to stop him. What do you think about Trish and Will's relationship? What are your theories so far? What happened to Trish? Okay, you know, between her and her mom to pretty much elect Jessica to be so protective over her. At the very end of the episode, we see how Jessica chooses to go to her childhood home to see Kilgrave, and we actually got to see hints of that. We actually got to see Jessica's parents for the first time, and it's just a very powerful, in this episode, more so than being action-packed, which is very emotional and suspenseful, and I love it so far, and can't wait to see the next episodes. But you know what? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. This is Mason AJ, and I'm still loving Jessica Jones. And don't get me wrong, as I said before, David Tennant is not the only one who can pull off this purple look. Special guest with a one-time only podcast extraordinaire, Gwenessa.
Yep.
Okay.
Miss Jamie, if you're nasty.
Oh. And we're here today to talk about like pretty much our reaction / review / breakdown of the Jessica Jones trailer. I got a whole bunch of Facebook messages, people asking, what do you think? And I wanted to like make sure I had the proper like